Welcome to the King Joe Show.
The Fever fall to the Sparks, and ESPN says they're better without Caitlin Clark? King Joe breaks it down next.
Took some overtime to get the time right. Had to lose a little mind to get my mind right. Finally realized, but in hindsight, you wanted the limelight. Me priority never once. You kept close but never really wasn't. I accept you like a focus. Agree with all your choices. Needed you to need me. Needed you to see me. Until I found the right direction, I think my reflection would agree. Had to find the me in me.
The Short Sport by K. David Jordan.
Gentlemen, give it up for your host, King David. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you should have. You should have. You should have. I appreciate you guys. Oh, it's early in the morning. Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the King Joe Sports Show. Your place for great things. Thank you so much. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for that like. Thumbs up. That like and subscribe button. Listen, tonight we talk about the Indiana Fever. They lost a tough one. I've been here for now. Why? 89-87 to the LA Sparks. But let's rewind real quick. Before we even get to the game, before the game tipped off, ESPN Analyst Carolyn Peck went on record saying the Fever are more dangerous without one Caitlin Clark. I told you it was coming. Yeah, that was the tape. Now, I get it. They were riding a little wave, 3-1 without her. Even won the Commissioner's Cup. You know, and I told you this is coming. I told you guys this is coming. But we're going to dive more into it right here on the King Joe Sports. Thank you. Now listen, let's go ahead and get into it. I told you guys I told you night before last that this is coming. I told you last night, I said, hey, I was looking and I said, hey. I was looking at everything and I saw what everybody was saying. I looked and I saw what people were saying in the comments as we sat there and we showed you. VVS, what's going on, my brother? The moderator. Moderator in the building. But we sat there, VVS, and we said it. I told you last show, I tried to tell you guys last show, and I tried to really give you guys the opportunity to understand what we were saying last show, when we talked about the things that were happening with the Indiana Fever. And we tried to tell y'all, hey, pump the brakes, calm down a little bit, bring it down just a tad, just a tad. They played great defense, and they played two opponents that really missed a lot of shots. And I said, I want to see them get into a battle where an opponent is shooting well, and that pressure's on them, how they react. And a lot of people, oh, you're not Indiana fans. Oh, you only Caitlin Clark fans. And I was like, no, because I root for Caitlin Clark, I'm an Indiana Fever fan. So I want the Indiana Fever to win, because the more games the Indiana Fever wins, the better position they are in the playoffs, okay? So even though Caitlin is not playing right now, we still want them to win, to succeed, because it gives us a better seed. And I am now fans of a lot of the players that play for the Indiana Fever. I am a Kelsey Mitchell fan. I am a Leah Boston fan. Sophie Cunningham. I'm a sexy Lexi Hall fan. We're fans of the team, not just Caitlyn. But when we point out certain things, when we point out different things that are happening, when we point out certain things that are occurring in the game, and we're analyzing it, guys, you got to be able to separate the two. And if you look at the games and how they were playing, you got to really think about the fact that the Minnesota Lynx missed a lot of shots that they normally hit. When you look at the game and you look at the team, the Las Vegas Aces are in disarray. My God, they just traded for Nalissa Smith. So they're definitely in disarray, right? So, they just got Nalissa Smith. That's how bad the Las Vegas Aces are right now. They traded for Nalissa Smith. So what we were saying was, we wasn't saying, oh, we don't want Indiana to win. We were saying, hey, calm down. And this is what the media did. I tried to give y'all the analogy of what my mother told me of pushing you past the mark. So after the game and after the win that they had, after the win they had at last game against the Las Vegas Aces, there's a young lady got on national television. And she got on national television and she made one of the most ridiculous, and when I say ridiculous, I mean one of the most ridiculous statements that we've heard in a long time. Did we have the video? Go to split screen so we can show them exactly what this young lady said. And listen, and hold on, wait, stop. Before we get there, let me say this. When we're talking about the worldwide leader in sports, it's becoming now where it's just really, really a lot of people trying to have, hot takes, right? And I get it because you wanna, when you say something that you think that is good, or you think that is life changing, you want to be the one to say it. But then it also shows you have to be careful. Even when I'm doing the show here, I have to be careful and I make sure I study. You can talk to Ella. You can talk to my wife. I sit there and study and I go over the games and I go over the notes and I go over the stats. That's how I don't just jump on once the game's over. Sometimes I give you some instant reaction, but normally I like to go over the stats. I like to hear everybody talk. I guess that's the mass communication major in me. I guess that's the broadcast journalist in me, where I want to hear the opinions of the game. I want to sit there and I want to hear, what the coach said, what the player said. I want to sit there and kind of analyze it a little bit before I get over here and just say something that sounds ridiculous. Right? But then there are some times where I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it, and I feel like, hey, I've analyzed, I've seen the situation, and I'm like, hey, man, this is what could happen. But even then, I want to be very careful and meticulous not to give my audience and the people just a hot take for giving it. And a lot of times when we're starting to see media analysts, we're starting to notice one or two things. Either they're just saying something to try to get that clickbait, or they don't know what they're talking about. They truly don't know the game. Like, because we always think because somebody's skillful and play the game that they actually know the game, right? Like they played it, so they gotta know. They gotta provide us certain insight that we didn't have normally. And then when you watch their podcast or you hear them on TV or you hear them say different stuff, you be like, they're really idiots. In their own sport. They really just got by because they kind of was talented. They are more athletic than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't the smartest players in the world. And I think that's what we're starting to get when we start looking at sports media. That's why I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, because we don't take it lightly, you guys listening to us. And we put the work in to try to give you guys the best show possible. And the best, not just to give you something to say, this is a hot take. No, we want to give you something that has some substance. It makes sense. And that's how I see a lot of this more social media content creators. We make a little bit more sense than the analysts that's on ESPN and these sports shows and these sports talk shows. But we're sitting here and we're watching Indiana play and we're watching them perform and we're saying, yo, they're playing very well. But then we're also sitting back and saying, well, wait a minute now. The Minnesota Lynx shot 29%. You know what I'm saying? Asia Wilson sat up there and scored 29 of her team's 54 points. How often is that going to happen? You know, even with them struggling, how often is Jewel Loy going to play that bad? How often is the point false god is going to play that bad? How often are they going to play that bad? And when we start looking at it, we be like, okay, cool. Even when we talk about the Fever, we have to kind of pump our brakes and say, hey, we love that Aaron McDonald's on our team. You know, we love that she's here. But she's a career about 8 points, 7 rebound, 4 assists player that wasn't even in the league at the beginning of the season. Now, that, I said the other night, that has something to do with scouting, but also, too, when you're sitting there and you're making a take, you got to make a take and say, well, listen, Aaron McDonald is playing the position better than Caitlin Clark. Y'all should trade Caitlin Clark. And we're looking at you like, y'all, are you crazy? You're talking about the number 1 draft pick, the number 1 was most viewed, the most exciting player, the most exhilarating player and women's basketball, and probably all of basketball right now. And we got idiots talking about, oh, y'all should trade Caitlin. You guys are better with Caitlin. Or, as Carolyn Peck said, the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Don't take my word for it. Here's the actual piece.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Aaliyah Boston, I talked to Stephanie White before the game.
Now she's telling the truth. Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind, and Aaliyah Boston is playing out of her mind. I'm gonna stop it there because I don't want to get I don't want to get flagged. Both of them played a lot, but the fact that she would say that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is more. The fact that she would say that the Indiana Fever is more is more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. You got to start looking at these folks and be like, maybe she don't know as much basketball as they say she does. Maybe she's not the greatest analyst. When you sit there and say that, that's ridiculous. We sat here and talked about how the fact that teams, when they come to play Caitlin Clark, she's not like Adrian. Adrian, we are number 1 over everybody's scouting report. But we're like, Adrian, stop it. You're not number 1 over everyone's scouting report, especially when Cardoso's playing. You're not. You may be number 3. And if you are number 1, Adrian Reese on the scouting report, it's like, hey, leave her open, let her try to shoot free throw. Leave her open, let her try to shoot layups. That's what they say. Hey, Crash, when she get a layup, Crash, she's not going to pass it. That's the other thing they said in the score report. But Caitlin Clark, you know Caitlin Clark is the number 1 thing when it comes to people's scouting. She is the number 1 goal to shut down. How do we know this, King? Because their defense picks up Caitlin Clark full court. 90 feet from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And what we saw tonight was a little bit, I got to give LA Sparks coach a little bit of credit because I was talking about it like a dog. I got to give her a little bit of credit. We saw them trap the high screening role with Kelsey Mitchell. And we saw Aaron McDonald and Kelsey struggle with it. And if you look at where where Aaliyah Boston is catching the ball with Mitchell and McDonald is different than where she's catching the ball with Caitlin. Even at the end of the game, you could tell they needed a little bit of Caitlin spread the court to get those wide open Kelsey Mitchell shots, they weren't there tonight. They wasn't there. Those wide open Leslie Hole shots wasn't there tonight. And let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. When Kelsey Plum came out tonight on a mission. And she came out on a mission to say, hey, I'm not gonna let Iron Madonna outplay me. The person I replaced on the team, I'm not gonna let her replace me. And tonight, she went to work. And she got her average, which is about 20 points, 6 assists, 3 to 4 rebounds. And this is what I keep telling people, and I keep trying to get people to understand, is that even though you may have a couple of good games, and I had talked to my wife about this stuff. I don't get at this. Because what happens is we become prisoners of the moment. And this is not what you expect from someone who's at the level of ESPN. This is not the analysis that you would expect for an analyst at the level at ESPN, because ESPN is supposed to be the gold standard. ESPN is supposed to be the top dog. They supposed to have the best of the best. And we starting to realize that ESPN has the mess of the mess. Especially when we start talking about the WNBA. These analyses in the ESPN, we don't know. I don't know, like, how they got. I mean, I do know how a couple of them got jobs. But I'm trying to figure out how they're keeping their jobs with these type of analysis. I don't know. Mark, what's up? VVS, what's up? Independent Aquaman, how you doing, sir? Patrick, what's going on, my guy? VVS always. Listen, guys, thank y'all for being in the chat. If you don't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, thank you so much tonight. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And I had to show, and I really had to break it down, because when I was talking to Ella tonight, we was watching the game, and it was after the game, and after they came out and they had a horrific fourth quarter. After having a pretty good game, they had a horrific, I would say, last minute and 30 minutes. They had a last minute and 30 minutes where they did not play well. It wasn't like it was horrible, but it was like they made a lot of mistakes down in the last minute and 30 seconds. The last 2 minutes of the game, we call that money time. And let's be honest, the Fever has struggled with Caitlin in that, and without Caitlin with that. But, you know, you still in the money time. You would rather have Caitlin Clark out there. I love Iron Madonna. I love her. I love Ari McDonald. I do. But if you're going to say, who do you want on the court in the last 2 minutes with the ball in their hand, I'm going to say Caitlin Clark. What's up, Jeff Blaze? Jeff Blaze! I'm going to say Caitlin Clark. Jeff Blaze in the building. Jeff Blaze. That wasn't the effect I was looking for. We'll find it. There we go. But that's what I'm saying. I would rather have Caitlin Clark. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm happy that Ari McDonald's on our team, because when we need someone that can play tough defense, someone that can shut somebody down, you got Ari McDonald. She's going to hound you. She's going to pest. She's going to do that. But what I was trying to tell people all year today, they was like, man, Ari's averaging 11 points, 3.8 assists, 2.5 rebounds. And I was telling people, like, yes, that's correct. She is. She's averaging that. But this is her career highs. For her career, she only averages 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. It's no diss. Listen, let me say this again. I am not dissing Ari McDonald. I am so happy and proud that she's on our team. We would not be where we are today without Ari McDonald. So this is not to hate on her at all. 0%. 0%. But what we have to do is we have to sit here and talk about the fact that people become prisoners, especially the Caitlin Clark haters, especially the Indiana haters. They become prisoners of the moment and look like, oh, man. And I tried to tell y'all it was coming. I legit try to tell you. Listen, man, people going to be like, hey, Indiana Fever are better without Caitlin. I showed you where people were legitimately saying trade Caitlin Clark. If I could talk tonight, I legitimately showed you guys where they said trade Caitlin Clark. And we were looking at them like, why? What are you talking about? Somebody said, I was reading the post, somebody said, listen, trade Caitlin Clark to Chicago. We'll give you Angel Reese and Cardoso for Caitlin Clark in Indiana. And I was looking like that, no go, no sale. We good. As much as I love Cardoso, nah, not for Caitlin. Plus, we got Aaliyah. You know, as much as I love Cardoso, we got Aaliyah. As cool as it would be to have Angel Reese, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm good. We're good with Caitlin. And people were sitting there talking about the last few games that Caitlin had where she struggled. She struggled mightily. And this is something that I was showing Ella tonight. I was like, listen, man. I said, Caitlin has struggled the last few games. But I said, Ari's played well. She's played okay. But if you look at the last two games against Las Vegas and against LA, she kind of struggled. She had 8.7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's not bad. In the win against LA. But she only shot 37% and had 4 turnovers. Against Las Vegas, that was against Las Vegas. But against LA tonight, she had 4 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. She shot 22%. It shows that people have bad games. Not everybody has a great game. So in the last 3 games, Armandella scored 4 points, 8 points, and 12 points. But you guys are saying we should get rid of Caitlin Clark and keep Armandella. And we're looking at you guys like you're crazy. And we're looking at you guys like you're crazy. David, why you like the glasses? I'm glad you like them. I had to put them on there. We look at you guys like you're ridiculous. Like, what are you talking about? Like she looked like she got on the Wayne glasses. But this is what we're talking about. But we're talking about Caitlin Clark, even with Caitlin Clark having horrific last games. And I mean horrific. You look at her numbers, she's still averaging 18 points. Because I think folks are ridiculous. How soon do they forget? And I think we have to take it, like I said last video, take a break. Take a little break. Chill for a second. It'll be all right. Just take a little break. Chill for a second. And then you'll recognize that Caitlin Clark is still averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds. 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. And when you see that, then you start saying, you know what? Yeah, I think I keep Caitlin. Because what we look at is a game, and then I was telling E, she got mad when I said this. I said, baby, what's the difference between a game and the average? She rolled her eyes at me so bad. I said, baby, all right, now you're talking about a couple of games, but I want to just talk about the average. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between the game and the average? Yeah, they had a couple of good games, but when we talk about averages, we're talking about what? You know what I'm saying? And if I have a 9-10, a whole season, and another 9 games after the season, where they're averaging almost 20 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 5 to 6 assists, and 2 steals, and a block, you know, even with the 6 turnovers that she's averaging this year, I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Because the average shows that I'm probably going to get 18 to 20 points from this young lady. Even if she occasionally has some strings of bad games, her average is still 18, 9, and 5. With 2 steals and 0.7 block. We say 1 block. That's the average. So that's what we're going by. But people get so caught up in the game. Oh, this person here is the next Michael Jordan. You know, this person, and I'm just saying. And this is the thing, though, because let's talk about averages. Even everybody talks about how great Ari plays defense, and she does. But this is the thing, and this is something I saw tonight with LA. This may be a problem going forward. Size. Because Rakia Jackson was going straight to the, boom. Oh, you want me? Let me post you up. Now, Rakia Jackson is a special type of player. I think she's going to be special. Especially once she really figure it out. But she's posting them girls up. Oh, who's on me? Oh. Got you. I mean, how many times a night did they go download a Rakia Jackson? But that's what we have to be careful, because you have the narrative. People want to play the narrative because, honestly, they're looking for a reason to hate. A lot of these analysts have planted their flag that Caitlin Clark is not her. She's a good player. She's a good player, but she's not transcending. She's a splash player, but she's not transcending. Thank you, Ella. I forgot to do it again. I can't even get to do something. She's a great player, but she's not transcending. And that's the lie. And that's what they put that flag on, that this is the type player that they have. And I'm trying to tell, and we're saying, no, she's not just a good player. She's a great player. She is transcendent. She's a game changer. She's a culture changer. She's going to lead a team to a championships. That's what we believe. And because of that, they look for any type of reason or any type of put themselves in any type of position at any type of time to be like, soon as Caitlin struggled, I knew she wasn't it. I knew she wasn't the savior. I knew she wasn't the messiah of women's basketball. And then when we come back, be like, yes, she is. Now, there is something going on, and let's get to the game and then we'll get out of here. There is something going on where I'm hearing some whispers. I don't know how true they are. That I'm hearing some whispers that Stephanie White is holding Caitlin Clark out of the game. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Caitlin can play, but they are holding her out. For some reason, the organization is holding Caitlin out of the game and saying they're being super cautious. You know, and what we got to understand is this, and this is something I got to tell Stephanie White, and I get it. But Stephanie White, y'all can't sit there and act like, you know what? I think that the win of the Lynx and the Sparks and the Wings, I think those wins kind of have us thinking we've arrived. You know what I'm saying? Where we can sit down our stars and we still can win these games, right? And what LA Sparks did tonight, let's get to the game. What the LA Sparks did tonight was they showed us, and you better respect every team that you play in the W. And we know they got the gauntlet coming next week. Well, they play 3 games next week, I think it is, before the All-Star break. We understand that. And they said they don't want Caitlin to have, so, because they kind of told themselves that Caitlin could play. Thank you guys for joining, man. The numbers are going up, and we appreciate each and every one. Please hit the like and subscribe. They kind of told us, no, VVS, they kind of said that she could play. This is that they said tonight on the interview. If y'all listen to the game, they kind of gave us some inside commentary on Caitlin's injury. They said she could play, but we don't want her to have a minutes restriction when she come back. Well, that's what they said tonight. I'm just telling you what they said tonight on the broadcast. If you heard that thumbs up tonight. Tonight they said on the broadcast, they said Caitlin could play, They said we just hold her. We're being very, very careful with her, and we just making sure there's no minute restriction when she returns. That's what Stephanie White said. Those are her words. And I was like, interesting. Interesting. Because this injury was supposed to be day to day. Then they came back and said, okay, it's going to be a couple of weeks. You know, we're gonna now they're saying we just want to be careful not to get her out there and get her hurt and, you know, make sure that now we try to make sure she doesn't have a minute restriction when she comes. She's just full throttle. It's full throttle. This is what they said. So we're trying to figure out, okay, is she healthy? Is it really, really bad? Or are y'all just saving her, you know, to kind of work on some things in the team in the game? Or y'all feeling like, hey, and I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been telling y'all from beginning, Stephanie White is more. I'm gonna go ahead and start the conspiracy. You got it? Let me get my conspiracy theory. This is my take that could be bad. Stephanie White is more comfortable coaching the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark. Let me say it again. Stephanie White is more comfortable coaching the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark. And we talked about it a little bit last video, and the reason for that is because when you have a player like Caitlin, she goes outside of your rules. They said this is conspiracy level stuff. Hey, David, I told you I was about to tell you what. But think about it, man. David, the best, if you think about it tonight, they said quiet injury takes about, and I understand quiet injuries are tricky. And you do have to be very careful with quiet injuries. But wasn't a video, I don't know if it's an old video or a video that I saw today, where Caitlin shot like 54 out of 58 threes today. I think it was today. I saw it on X, right? Y'all let me know if that was old or if that was today. She shot like 54 or 58 three-pointers today. I think it was today. I think that was today. I saw that on X. I saw the video on that. People were asking, what's that today? And see, this is what, David, think about this, right? If we think about the best games we've seen Steph coach this year, none of those games had Caitlin Clark in them. The most impressed, other than the blowouts, the most impressed we've been with this team, that's been without Caitlin. It's been without Miss Clark. And you have to wonder, because listen, man, when Caitlin was playing, it was walking the ball up. And we were sitting there, all of us was pulling our hair out like, why are you walking the ball up the court? They play with more pace now. The movement is better, they say. That's what they say. That's why these people making these takes and saying, well, they're better without Caitlin Clark. They look better without Caitlin Clark. They play better defense. They got more weapons. Like, that's a ridiculous take that they have more weapons, because you have the person that orchestrates those guys getting open shots and just makes life easier. Just off a basketball one-on-one thing. As a matter of fact, the reason why I can't say that too. The reason why the Fever lost tonight was because of the defensive game plan. How many layups did LA get because they was trying to press Kelsey Plum? They're running the high screen. They're running the diamond at the top. They was trapping Kelsey at the top, and they was leaving somebody down low wide open. That's what I'm saying. He said, Overall said, he said, hey, that's like the 80s Lakers walking the ball. Remember that? Listen, wait a minute. Overall, if you remember, I was watching, what was that? What was the show on HBO when Magic had, what was the coach name? Magic had the other coach before they got Pat Riley. In winning time. Westfall. Right? They had Westfall before they had Pat Riley. And remember Magic, they was winning. The Lakers still was winning. Paul Westhead. They had Westhead. And remember the Lakers was winning games, right? They were winning games, but Magic was like, yo, but we could be blowing these teams out. We could be dominating these teams. We're winning games. We're dominating these teams. And Westfield was like, man, it's about my system. And we talked about this last time. I told you Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr. You had Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr was like, oh, my God, what does he shoot? But then he comes back, boom. Right? So Jennifer said she asked, hey, Jay, what's up, Jennifer? How you been? August. What's up, August? Jennifer said it was she asked to slow down because listen, and she asked her to slow down because listen, Jennifer, you're proving my point. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I hear what you're saying, and you're right, but at the same time, it's kind of proving what I'm saying. If you're a coach and your team is is an up-tempo team, and you're starting DeWanna Bonner over Lexi Hall, whose fault is that? It's two people. It's the organization, the GM, for going and wasting money on DeWanna Bonner as a horrible free agent signing. But it is also Stephanie White. But Stephanie White played a role in that. We cannot act like Stephanie White did not play a role in DeWanna Bonner being in Indiana. Because let's not forget where DeWanna Bonner was last year, and who was her coach. Let's not forget that. DeWanna Bonner was in where last year, and who was her coach last year? Stephanie White. And even, listen now, even according to the media, DeWanna Bonner and Stephanie White's relationship with Indiana have recently undergone a change. Y'all forget, DeWanna Bonner came from Phoenix. Who was the coach of Phoenix last year? Y'all remember when they waited? What Stephanie White got up and she said? This was in the NFL. She said, first and foremost, obviously we're disappointed that things didn't work out. I love DB. I mean, DB is somebody that I have so much respect for. She's a Hall of Famer. Why I'm disappointed, I always, first and foremost, want her to be happy. And I'm so thankful for the time that we've had, and certainly want her to be happy. Things happen quickly and be able to mesh. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think we've seen the sports for a long time. At the end of the day, my priority for DB personally is that she's happy, right? And there is a lot that goes to trying to make things work on the floor, certainly, and it didn't work the way we necessarily wanted it to. That was Stephanie White brought DeWanna Bonner to the Indiana Fever. She came with Stephanie. Y'all can't overlook that. So it's two people. Because we got rid of Timmy Fembele to get DeWanna Bonner. Now, DeWanna Bonner is probably has the without a doubt, the more stellar career. But when we talk about team fit, she didn't fit with the Fever at all, 0%. And somebody tried to tell y'all at the beginning of the year that it wasn't going to work. Somebody was sitting there saying, I don't see how this is going to work. But they tried it because Stephanie White said, okay, I need somebody that knows my system, somebody that can run my system and is familiar with my system. And she could be a veteran presence in the locker room. See, I'll be forgetting these interviews and stuff that the pressers that they do at the beginning of the year. See, I'll be remembering that stuff. I sit down and watch it. I'll be like, oh. What'd she say? Stephanie White has struggled coaching the Indiana Fever. Anybody says differently, I don't know, man. But all right, I'll ask the chat. Chat, do y'all think Stephanie White has been struggling? Put a Y for yes, N for no. Has Stephanie White been struggling this year as a coach? And how she, that's the question. Let me put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. We ask the chat. I got one Y. They said she struggles coaching Caitlin. Everybody say yay. I'm saying all Y's. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. The problem is, the reason is, I tell you the coaches that I like. I like the business coach. I tell you somebody that I really like though. I like the Valkyries coach. I don't know. What is she? She's an Asian. That little chick be coaching. That young lady be throwing out. I mean, she be coaching. I like her. She's nice. She's nice. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. I don't know. What's the Valkyries coach name? Let me find out. I like her. She's all right. You can just tell. What's her name? Natalie Nakasi? Oh, man. That young lady right there, she nice. She's nice. She knows what she's doing. And I'm not just saying it because she's winning. I'm just saying that she has a team, a young team that's really not as talented. Listen, the Valkyries are not as talented as the Indiana Fever. They're not as talented as the Indiana Fever. But she's getting the most out of her players that she has. Even when she got totally, her team got totally dismantled because of the EuroLeague. She still had them girls out there balling. I don't know where she came from. She's an NBA, matter of fact, she's the coach of the month for June. WNBA coach of the month for June. That young lady there can coach. That's what I'm talking about when I say, hey, you're coaching. Because you're getting the best out of your players. You're putting your players in the best position to succeed. You know what I'm saying? You put them in the best position to succeed. And if you have they said she came from Vegas. Okay, all right. She came, well, all right. That's kind of a cheat code because y'all know where the Vegas head coach came from. She came from Pop. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, y'all know where Becky came from. Becky came from Pop. So, hey, that's kind of cheat code. But she can coach. Natalie, you're all right with me. I would be upset if, you know, we fired Stephanie and went for Natalie, you know. But we're going to get Stephanie the rest of the year. We're going to be fair. We was fair with Christy. I'm going to be fair. They live on the 3-ball. All right, man. Valkyries be balling, man. And she let them ball. But this is the thing that I'm saying. You have Stephanie White this year that wanted them to run her off. She still wants them to run their offense. All right? And we're a good team with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. We're a good team. Aaliyah Boston is having a career year, an all-star year. We're a good team with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. And when both of them are hitting that shot, we're a good team. When Natasha Howard plays well, we're a really, really good team. We're a really good team. When our McDonald's out there doing their thing and we're locked in on defense, we're a good team. We're a really, really good team. You know what Jim plays. We're a really good team. But at the same time, though, when we have Caitlin Clark, when Lexi's hitting her threes, we're a good team. When Sophie's out there doing what Sophie does. Y'all always over here that lady show me. You know what I'm saying? When Sophie does what Sophie does, we're a good team. We're a good team. But when we have this young lady that was born January 22nd, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa, who played for the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team from 2020 to 2024, who ended up being the NCAA all-time leading scorer, men's and women. She called Pete. That's what they told me last week. All-time leading scorer. The number one pick for the Indiana Fever. The Rookie of the Year. The All WNBA All-Star first year player. Ran 6 foot 157. Oh my God. And she got that brand new Kobe 5V shoe that sold out in minutes. The thing that got the TV ratings going crazy. Selling out every arena that she show up to. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about one and the only. We're talking about the one and the only Queen Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. I mean, they good. We're good with the rest of them. But when Queen Caitlin Elizabeth Clark is hitting them shots, ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy out here in these streets. You can go ahead and we're great. We're not just good. We're amazing. We're not just, they do pretty good. If we get everybody playing on the same plane and we're playing with pace, we're doggone almost unbeatable. The only team that I think can run with us is Minnesota. Right? Maybe New York. New York Liberty does a great job too. So New York and Minnesota, it's only two. There's only two that can run with us. You know what I'm saying? There's only two teams that run. But you got to let her do a thing. And I'm telling you, Stephanie White right now is more comfortable. She's more comfortable with Ari at the point. And I understand it because she runs her system. She kind of knows exactly where she's going to be. Y'all do know that the last series, Stephanie Wright ran a play for Ari to shoot a three. Now, we had to sit here and fuss at Stephanie White to put Caitlin stop having Caitlin in ball to shoot the ball at the end of the game. Do y'all not remember? I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all trying to say that. When she comes, no. She ran a play for Ari that was struggling tonight. You know, so and they asked her about that. They asked her, "Hey, did you run a shot for Ari?" So I want to see. She read a. Y'all think I know y'all think I'm lying. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. She actually ran a play within the last 2 minutes. Go to split screen. Play it.
Arc, was that kind of what you were looking for? Were you good? Despite all that, you had a look. I think it was airy on that left arc. Was that kind of what you were looking for? Were you good with that shot late?
In which one? Which on the last timeout or the
last 30 seconds?
The last 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I think getting all in the three. Yeah, I mean, that was a good look for us. It was a good look for us. We had a look we missed, I think, on Kelsey on a back door on one of our other timeouts. We had a great look with AB in the slip on one of them as well. Even at the end of the game, I know it's tough because Azrae Stevens is on the ball and it makes it really tough. I thought Soph was open over the top. But sometimes when teams play with that physicality and use that length, it causes you to rush a little bit, whether it's rushing a shot, rushing a read. It closes the gap, narrows the gap a little bit more.
So y'all heard it, right? He asked her, "Hey, did you run a play for Ari at the end of the game?" Ari at the end of the game. I said the girl name wrong. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Ari.
I feel like they let the game come to them in those moments, and we, on the other hand, really felt pressed in those moments and forced some shots or quick shots and didn't really make them work as much.
Now you say y'all felt pressed. They pressed Caitlin from time she get off the bus. I digress.
As we could on the defensive end. Yeah, we got to protect our paint.
Despite all that, you had a look. I think it was airy on that left arc. Was that kind of what you were looking for? Were you good with that shot late?
In which one? Which on the last timeout or the
last 30 seconds?
The last 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I think getting all in the three. Yeah, I mean, that was a good look for us.
You have Kelsey Mitchell. You have Lexi Hall that's shooting 50% from three-point range. You have Aaliyah Boston. And you run a three-point game for Ari. Make sure I say her name. Ari. Who tonight had 4 points. Do y'all not remember, ladies and gentlemen, I remember at the beginning of the year, we were calling her Stephanie Christie size because she had Caitlin at the end of the game, once again, inbounding the ball. And she wanted to use Caitlin as a decoy. Do y'all remember that? They asked her, I want to use Caitlin as a, she wanted to use Caitlin as a decoy. But here we are, end of the game. You run a play for Ari to shoot a three to win the game. I mean, y'all can say what y'all want. To me, I'm looking at her crazy. I mean, y'all can be upset with me. Y'all can say, King, you're stretching. And I may be. I was a beautiful guy. I may be. Boy, I'm swollen this tight here. I said, these yours. I may be. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, she's more comfortable. She was more comfortable. And I get it because Ari did make a great play at the defensive end. Well, okay. This is what happened. Like the Sparks read the last play, everybody played. It was the right play. They ran the right play. What happened was, I think it was Kelsey. They ran the play to that point, to the shooting guard. She got the ball. She had been playing well. She's going to be all right. And Les Sparks is going to be a nice young team. Now, don't get it twisted. They're struggling this year, but they're going to get Brink back. Rakia gonna be okay. They got Kelsey. They have the other young point guard they had. The other young Caucasian lady that was running the ball. She's gonna be nice. She plays on the control. She has a nice shot, a nice game to her. Man, they're gonna be okay. I think they need to get rid of Hamby. I think Hamby she's borderline garbage. I mean, she's like right there, teetering at not being that good. You know what I'm saying? She's okay. You know what I'm saying? She's standard, right? She might have a good game every now and then, but I'm just trying to figure out. That's why I am too, August. I'm trying to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be good in a couple of years. But they ran the right play. And I think Kelsey fell. When Kelsey fell, she threw the point guard off, the other young lady off, that threw a wild pass to Kelsey. And Kelsey caught back and slipped, and then Ari was able to get the ball. Now, let's not get it twisted. Kelsey was giving Ari the business all night tonight. Y'all got to say what you want to say. Kelsey was giving Ari almost fouled out. You know what I'm saying? She almost fouled out the game. Kelsey came, and I said at the beginning of the show, she came really, really, really focused to say, hey, man, I'm finna show out. I'm going to show y'all why they got rid of her and she's not in the league, and they got rid of her for me. They got rid of her for me. You know, so I think at the end of the game, that's what happened. It was it was actually the right play. Because what Indiana had been doing was they had been coming and running they had been blitzing Kelsey Plum, and they had been coming with a double team on Kelsey. And all they was doing, they was running it straight to get that layup right down below. The play was for Rakia Jackson. Now, the play was for Rakia Jackson in the paint. They're going to run a high screen and roll. They was looking for Indiana to trap, and they was going right down to Rakia Jackson because Rakia Jackson has she's 6'5" to Kelsey Mitchell's 5'8", 5'9". Oh, she had to switch on one of them. She's taller than everybody, Lexi or anybody. She was destroying them down low. That's what the play was for. And it was set up beautifully. But Kelsey Plum failed. There was a bad pass, and Kelsey Plum was trying to catch it, and she failed. Ari got the ball back, which set up the three-pointer, and Ari missed the three. These are the things that we have happening, ladies and gentlemen. Had another opportunity. Aaliyah had an opportunity, hit the shot, miss. Lord have mercy. These are things that we have happen. We didn't even show the score. These are things that we have. Let me just go through. These are things that we have happened. We had a final, 89-87. Sparks beat the Fever. Top performance, Azura Stevenson had 21 points, 12 rebounds. She hit some tough shots. Kelsey Plum added 20 points. Aaliyah Boston had 23 points, 12 rebounds. Natasha Howard had 21 and 9. And Kelsey Mitchell added 19 points with 3 threes. Good all the way. Good game all the way around. A little boring at first, but it got good at the end. Don't you think the problem is, why didn't it come down? Why did it come down to the late? I do agree it didn't have to come down to the late shot. I think you had I tell you who played well for the Fever. I'll tell y'all who played well for the Fever. Pull up my stats real quick. Michaela Timpson is a beast. And we got to wonder why Michaela Timpson has been sitting on the bench for so long. Especially for defensive purpose. Because everybody just thinks it's just, Ari's coming to defense. No, Michaela stepped up in Duntas' absence. And she's provided. And let's not be funny. I will say this about Stephanie. Stephanie goes with favoritism first, but if she sees it's not working, then she seems to go with the best player. Right? Because if y'all remember when Duntas first went out, she was giving those minutes to Brianna Turner, and all of us was like, why? I remember, was it Mick Knows Sports or whatever? Mick was like, hey, Brianna Turner is stealing money right now. And I was like, man, why you being so hard on Breonna? And then I started looking at being a player like, nah, he's not lying. He's not lying. I was like, oh, no, he's not lying. Get her out the game immediately. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get the game, you be like, hey, man, get her out of the game right now. Don't hesitate getting her out of the game. And we found some in Michaela Timpson that a lot of people have been saying from the beginning of the year that Michaela Timpson is nice on D. She plays a strong game. She ain't playing around. And she's solid. You know, she's solid. And she hustles, and she goes out there, and she made some great plays tonight. That block was sensational. That block she had tonight was amazing. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to have to, I think she's earned more playing time. And I think she helps our defense. And she's the one, they talk about her shooting. They talk about her shooting. But she's the one that when you come through and you make a plays like this, man, it's you make a plays like this.
Bye. Get that out of here. This one's going to look good on film tomorrow. Goodbye. Get that out of here.
That's athleticism. That's timing. That's ball awareness. That's everything you want. I don't know why Kelsey looking like she about to jump. Kelsey, get out of the way. Kelsey looking like she about to jump. He's like, here I go. Nah, you know, you got it. You got it, Michaela. Go ahead. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I ain't finna get that.
Goodbye. Get that out of here.
I know what the hell's happening. So that's crazy. And that's something that could be big for us. If we have a shot blocker, somebody that you have to keep your eyes on. And I think that's one of the players that we were saying at the beginning of the year that we needed. Right? We needed somebody that could, you know, defend the rim. Somebody that's tough. And I'm just saying, look at Michaela Timpson. And a lot of people ain't finna roll up on Michaela Timpson. You know what I'm saying? And they see this. A lot of people ain't finna run in Michaela Timpson's face. You might think you are, but it ain't gonna happen. Look at Michaela. Look, a lot of people ain't finna roll up on that young lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get her in the game. You gotta get her some playing time. And a lot of people finna roll up on her. I'm sorry. She's athletic. She's gonna go after the ball.
Get out of here.
And she's a defensive star. And that's something that can help our team in the long run. Help us go on the run. You know, watching. Somebody say I want to see her dunk. Can she dunk? Can she? I don't know if she can dunk. Can she dunk? Let me look that up. I don't know if she can dunk. Can she dunk? If she can dunk, hey, I definitely want to see that too. Don't tell me Kenny gonna be out here throwing loops. That's hilariously funny to me. Let me see if she can dunk. Let's see if she got bounce. Wait a minute now. Can she dunk for real? Don't play with me, y'all. I'll tell you we had somebody on the bench that could dunk. Oh, yeah. We tripping. I don't know what Stephanie's doing. We got somebody that can y'all ain't tell me she can dunk. Wait a minute now. Y'all ain't tell me she catching it off the line. Wait a minute now. Y'all didn't tell me that. Run that back. Hold up. Y'all ain't tell me she was catching. Oh, okay. Y'all didn't tell me she was dunking. I didn't know. This is, you might have, wait. Mark, you might have put me on something. You might have put me, I didn't know she was dunking, Mark. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I missed that one. Oh, what is Stephanie doing? What is Stephanie doing? Stephanie, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Y'all got the girl out here dunking? Listen, man. Listen. Hey, it might be a problem. it might be a problem. Let it develop a little bit. Let it get in the weight room a year in the league. It might be, but y'all didn't tell me the girls out here. Play the dunk again. Y'all didn't tell me the girls out here dunking. She catching it. Man, y'all done got Caitlin, the girl that can dunk, and y'all been sitting her on the bench all season? Man, what are y'all doing? Wait a minute now. And it was okay. Yeah, we no. What is she blocking shots like she blocking them? That's why we can't show everything. I love it. No, I don't want jump plays. I don't want to say no alley-oop plays, but I'm just saying, like, if you got somebody with that type of athleticism, you know what I'm saying, that's showing that she's playing D, she's a D defender, and she can jump out the gym, you got to utilize that, especially when you're having issues down low and you're aged down low. You got Aaliyah Boston, who's dominant down low, right? But if you get somebody that can jump on the other side, you got Howard, who's skilled also. But you got to get Howard. Like, I felt like Howard ran out of gas tonight a little bit, right? I felt she ran out of gas at the end of the game. But you get Howard, you know what I'm saying, a little break, and you bringing in Michaela, and Michaela can play D, and she's swatting passes. You know what I'm saying? She's swatting passes out the air, and then she, you get on the break, and she might try to yoke on something. You know how crazy any other field house will go if that girl yoke, and she does. You know how crazy it's gonna be if she does. Off of Kayla Clark assist, and Kayla bounce the ball, and Timpson goes up and she dunks it. Do you know how crazy the field house will be? You know how ridiculous? Y'all just don't know. This is more of an indictment on Stephanie White for having the water butter out there. We got somebody who can dunk. This is an indictment on the one. This is an indictment on Stephanie White. I'm so excited I can barely talk. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Listen, y'all hit the like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Hit like and subscribe. I think we're okay. Okay? Tonight, sometimes you have those losses where you have to be like, okay, listen, this is a learning where you guys are still young. You can't take these games for granted. Chicago Sky have beaten LA Sparks twice in a row. Angel Reese looked like doggone Dominique Wilkins out there playing against Erica Hamby. But, tonight they had it going. Tonight, Kelsey Plum had it going. Tonight, they played better, and they got the W. And you can't be mad at them getting the W. Azura Stevens, she played well, 21 points. She hit some tough shots. Stevens hit some tough shots. And Kelsey Plum really dictated the offense. She kind of dictated the game. She hit some tough shots. Very much so. She hit some tough. And I think at the end of the day, this is why you have to have a superstar like, he talking about Boston get done. I don't know if she tried, she made 6'5". I think she tried. I will say this though. I don't know what they've been putting in the Aaliyah food. I don't know, like, they've been putting like hot sauce in her meat, making her eat raw meat or something. I don't know what they've been doing to Aaliyah Boston. But Aaliyah Boston is playing like a woman possessed out there. I can't hate Aaliyah. Pow, pow, pow. I know y'all didn't win tonight, but I'm still giving you some pow, pow, pow. Because listen. Aaliyah like, man, try me if you want to. That's how she looking at these girls. Like, I've seen it in the eyes a couple times tonight. Like, she's always giving it to the refs. But I don't see her look at it, hey, man, try me if you want to. Aaliyah started to get a little shack in her. And I love it. Aaliyah. Keep doing it. Doing what you're doing. This is just a little wake-up call, guys. I wouldn't be too upset. It's a little wake-up call. They did a great job of playing tonight. A little wake-up call. Stephanie White, little wake-up call that you still need Cece. You still need Cece. March said 30-14 was his prediction at the start of the season. That's a good record. That's a good place to be. I just think, listen, it's gonna be a little bit of a trend. It's gonna be a little bit of a transition once Caitlin returns. But don't get it twisted. We love our Harry. I'm trying to pronounce that girl's Harry. Better pronounce it. We love it. Love it. But let's not forget she's a good player. Caitlin's transcendent. You get all of them. Once you get all of them playing on the same point, the same level, I already know it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that. And now we got somebody who can dunk, that can play good, that's athletic, that can run the floor, that's young. We just need Stephanie White to put it together. Stephanie, you got the ingredients. Now it's time to put it. So I'm running from. Let's go ahead. Thank you guys so much. If you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button. If you enjoy the show, hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much. So much. You guys mean so much to me. Taking time. To the chat, everyone in the chat, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Listen, go for your goals. Always go for your goals. Don't never give up. Never stop. When things look wrong, look bad, don't ever stop. I believe it. Believe in yourself. The success listen. It's King Joe. Yeah.
To the King Joe Show. The Indiana Fever lose to the LA Sparks, despite an ESPN analyst claiming the Fever